Tonight we're learning more about that shocking smash and grab heist at the Louvre Museum on Sunday as the manhunt for the brazen thieves goes global. And the clock ticks down in a desperate race to find the stolen jewels intact. The Paris prosecutor now puts the value at the treasures stolen at $102 million, a stunning figure that doesn't even account for the historical value or the rarity of crown jewels, some of which are dating back to Napoleon the Emperor, all of which makes the gems actually priceless. 100 investigators with the elite Paris police unit called BRB are on the case tonight. That unit covers high-profile robberies with experts in museum thefts. They were the ones who busted the ring behind the armed robbery of Kim Kardashian in her Paris hotel back in 2016. 10 people were arrested in that case, but most of the $10 million in jewelry that they stole from Kim Kardashian, well, that was never recovered. It is feared that may be a repeat in this case as well. Experts say the thieves could be dismantling the highly recognizable treasures as we speak, all to move the stolen goods quicker and easier. Is a tactic investigators say has been on the rise recently with a spike in museum thefts across Europe. In France alone, at least 4 other museums have been robbed in the past 2 months. Smash and grabs of valuable treasures that can easily be broken down and then fenced. Meanwhile, France has ordered a security review of the Louvre. The museum's president has been summoned to appear before the Senate Cultural Committee tomorrow to answer questions about the brazen theft. While today, the French Minister of Culture appeared before the National Assembly. She told lawmakers that the Louvre Museum's security apparatus did not fail, adding, "That is a fact." Okay, I think some people might beg to differ. Joining us now is Larry Lawton, once the biggest jewel thief in the country. He spent 12 years in prison for committing a string of jewelry store robberies along the East Coast. He's now a motivational speaker and an author of the book Gangster Redemption. And Jennifer Coffindaffer joins us, NewsNation's law and justice contributor. She is a former FBI agent. Jennifer, I'm going to start with a couple questions to you and then go to Larry. How can the museum director say the security protocols worked? They just had more than $100 million in jewelry stolen.
Because he tried to protect his position. I mean, that's a ridiculous statement. They pulled up a cherry picker in a truck and just broke in with a power saw or grinder and then smash and grab, just like back in the old days. This is a definite breach of security.
More than 100 investigators, Jennifer, are now involved in hunting them down, including this BRB unit. I don't know if you've heard of it or know of it, but it specializes in robberies. They found the criminals who robbed Kim Kardashian, but they never found her jewels.
Yeah, that's the big problem. I think in this case, that offense would have already been lined up, at least for some share of this jewelry that they would need defense. And Elizabeth, I think that was done well in advance of this. And it's very concerning because I don't know if they'll ever get any of them back.
Yeah, I'm sure they didn't rob the jewelry and then go, okay, let's start calling around and see who might like this stuff. Larry, there were plenty of cameras all around the entrances and the outside of the Louvre, but there were not apparently, according to security officials, enough officers to continuously monitor all those cameras. Labor unions had warned that all the renovations that are happening right now outside the museum could make it hard to spot suspicious characters exactly like this thief.
You know, Elizabeth, here's the biggest problem here. You know, obviously, people are saying they're professionals. I think they're opportunists. I don't think they're actual professionals to make all the mistakes they made during this robbery, which is dropping the gloves, dropping the bike, leaving, I don't know how much money in a crown. I've robbed 25 jewelry stores. I never dropped something. I mean, think of that. You're dropping cheeses. And as the FBI knows, who caught me, the biggest case squad, they're good. But here's what they need in this case. They got to look inside job first, because there's no way they took this down without having some knowledge of the inside of that place. No way.
Here's what I don't get, Larry. The burglars fled on scooters. Aren't there tons of CCTV cameras all around Paris that could have tracked them?
I'm sure there are, but even that can go. I mean, I used to plan these things. I cased 25 of them, 1,000 cases. You can go into a garage, you can go to another place, you can switch cars, you can go a lot of ways. If they planned it right, but with all the mistakes, I don't know how much planning they really, I think they had an opportunity. And how I believe that is maybe one of their girlfriends or wives was a tour guide and knew stuff. Not that she's in on it, you know, bedroom talk. And hey, I was doing a tour today. You know, they put new glass or what's going on. There's a lot of opportunities here for cost. The French Louvre was very, very undersecured. When you got that kind of money, that's $100 million in 9 pieces or 8 pieces now. Could you imagine what's in that?
Well,
Right? And it just happened, even major. Germany.
yeah, one of the union chiefs at the Louvre, representing a lot of the security workers, said, quote, "The entire surveillance system at the Louvre is obsolete."
And, you know, the FBI will verify this, and she's going to tell you on this. Listen, cameras are so cheap today. They should have had 5 cameras put in there, especially with the construction starting. And there's a bunch of other stuff we can go into. I'm sure the FBI can tell you, too.
Jennifer, what are the chances this jewelry is still in France?
I think those chances are very possible. You know, this calls to attention to me, the Pink Panther gang. I don't know if you've heard about this, but basically there's a network of about 800 identified jewelry thieves and brazen thieves, and this is how they operate. And they haven't been caught, but they've been chased for years. Do I think this could be possibly connected to an arm or branch of those guys? I think it's very possible. And I agree with your guest. They made so many mistakes. They couldn't even light the truck fire like they planned.
Yeah, Jennifer, the jewelry is, as we know, priceless, and yet it was not insured by the museum. I was surprised to read that today.
Yeah, it's ridiculous when you look at the situation with billions upon billions of dollars of treasures and artwork and so on. The fact that nothing is secured, the fact that you don't have these things insured, it's mind-boggling. By the way, there's 1,300 security guards at the Louvre. Where were they during this heist?
Very quickly, Larry, one of the things that's striking about this robbery is that it happened in broad daylight while the museum was open, while there were visitors inside the museum. It's counterintuitive. Most of these kinds of robberies take place at night when the museum is closed.
Well, not really. I never robbed a jewelry store at night. They were always in the day. There's a lot of variables. And now here's why. You have to know where the sun is rising and sun is setting. If the sun rises in the east, like in the United States, and a store window is facing east, I know that I have 2 hours. You cannot walk. You can't look in there unless you put your hands to the glass.
Right.
Not only that, they're self-insured, meaning it's a government. You know, I mean, you're going to get money from insurance company that's going to go insolvent because they can't pay that money anyway. I don't, the insurance, it's the lack of security. Listen, they have games out there. I play GTA. I'm a streamer on GTA, and this is a game. This is a game.
Larry Lawton, you are entertaining as always. Jennifer Coffindaffer, you are informative as always, and I thank you both. Very much appreciate it.
Thank you for watching. Subscribe below and download our NewsNation app right now on your phone, and you will get fact-based, unbiased news for all Americans.